Hey y'all, I'm back. I had to split this lengthy discussion up into multiple segments because, just like we said, the topic of surviving R. Kelly, muting R. Kelly, hopefully indicting R. Kelly now, very, very soon, is a very lengthy discussion. So, oof, Jesus is still the homeboy, and this is just a heavy, heavy topic. So, went over last time just a little bit about what I didn't know because Dream and her team put on a whole lot of information that a lot of us didn't know, brand new information, stuff that we chose to turn a blind eye to, but some stuff that was literally brand new information. So, getting on the topic of what I did know, so I did know, most of us knew that R. Kelly did in fact marry Aaliyah at the age of 15. And I unfortunately have to add her mom to the list of people that I'm side-eyeing because she has spoken to several media outlets, to my knowledge, not on camera, but has spoken to several media outlets saying that she didn't want Aaliyah's legacy to be defamed or have any extra scrutiny put on what she was doing when she was alive. And that is the exact wrong attitude. It's not even about that. And I don't think this casts any shade on Aaliyah whatsoever. She did fall in love with someone who made her a star. He was very talented and is very talented, a musical genius. You cannot deny that. That is literally not even debatable, not with me. Very talented, very powerful, and very wealthy. He had already had multiple hits out before they even connected. Then her album went right to number one in I don't know how many weeks. But anyway, she got on with Big Les and said that that was her best friend. Okay, they were dressed alike. I did not even know that. Just the pathology behind that is just really, really disturbing. But the tour manager speaks and tells us that he helped forge the papers. She put on it that she was 18, which of course she would have to be 18. She would have to be of age to enter into a legally binding contract, which marriage is, at least in the eyes of the state. But no, 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 no. This is 1994, and she was only 15 years old. Of course, later the marriage would be annulled, but that was just a peek into the proclivities of R. Kelly. So yes, he likes them young. And we as a community, they were probably more than a few eyebrows raised, but for the most part, we felt like, okay, she was just mature. He saw some of himself in her, which is a good point that my babe made. She was like his prodigy, and he fell for her. They fell for each other. And as an adult, you kind of cannot do that. You can't fall in love with a child. We're beyond the whole sex thing. Mentally, you can't even allow yourself to go there. But he had been acted upon and he didn't know how to react. He was still a child himself. To this day, these girls say, as a 44-year-old man, as a 50-year-old man, as a 51-year-old man, talking to him, hanging out with him, it was like somebody that they went to high school with. This is what the victims actually say. So, the Aaliyah thing did happen. Oh, but what I want to point out and what I want to say, and I've repeated and will continue to repeat, is there was very much power and very much a machine behind this. Because let me tell you something. I wasn't even aware that it was MTV that actually broke the story of the Aaliyah marriage. But what I will tell you, I can talk about my own self personally. In 2008, when the trial was happening, myself, Artisha, I searched high and low all over this world's internet, the World Wide Web, okay, the interwebs, to find information about the Aaliyah marriage. And let me tell you, sir and ma'am, it was not there. I don't care what anybody says. R. Kelly and his team and his machine paid to have that suppressed. There is no way that a major network, a major music network reported this, and just a few years, well, it wasn't just a few years ago, now it was 10 years ago, it was not available online. There's something fishy about that. To the point where I was asking myself, am I crazy? Wasn't my friends and I at the high school breakfast table and lunch table talking about the fact that we couldn't believe this young lady who was our same age was marrying this grown behind, rusty behind man who was talking about honey love and hey, Mr. DJ? Yes, but I stand by it. It was not, it was scrubbed from the web until some of all of this other stuff came out. And Mr. Jim DeRogatis, he had from the Chicago Sun-Times or Chicago Tribune, Chicago Tribune. Then you have to make that information available because then it casts a shadow on you like, okay, why is this not available? Anyway, I digress. But again, I don't think that casts any poor lighting on Aaliyah whatsoever. She was young and he was not. And the onus is always going to fall on the adult. There's no such thing as a fast girl. An adult creates and makes a fast girl. Okay? Whatever attention or love, quote unquote, that a young girl tries to receive from a man, it's up to this grown behind, rusty behind man to tell her, no, baby, that's inappropriate. Go to your mom. Go to your grandma, auntie. Get out of my face. Okay? I tell anybody, I was talking to a family member last night. Growing up in D.C., of course, I took money from old behind, dirty old men. No, I did not let any of them touch me, but that was a choice that I made, and thank God for protecting me, that I didn't get caught up in no crazy situation. I took rides from jokers I knew I didn't have no business taking no ride from too many times, because they smirking and, scheming and plotting. No, it's nothing you can get here. But that was just a choice that I made. And again, I really feel like I was supernaturally protected by the Lord and covered, that nothing didn't go way, way left. Okay. So I know what it's like. We all do. We've all had those interactions where it just doesn't feel right. We got that dirty uncle. We got our uncle's friends who like to drink and they just getting handsy and all of that. The adult is responsible for controlling themselves. Same thing for females that do this stuff to little boys or to other females, whatever. Child predators are sick and they need help from the Lord. And let me just say this and put this out here so I can be very clear. I don't believe in willpower. It's no such thing. Men and women can't control themselves. They don't really have the spirit to. It is something you need to connect to your creator, your higher power. True change only comes in Christ. It's not up for debate. Not with me. You have to seek the one who made you, sent you, and purposed you. If you really, really want to change, if you want to walk in your purpose and do what you were called here to do. Everybody is born with a mission and an assignment. And when you have someone who is gifted like R. Kelly, who cannot read, also information I did not know, can't read well, can't write well. He's asking for a picture of a girl. He texts SINPIC, send pic. He spells SIN. Okay. Even in the HuffPost interview, he's calling a lady uneducated, but he can't string his words together thoroughly. You understand what I'm saying? This is information back in the bucket of stuff that I did not know. But we have to think about this. And prayer is needed, absolutely. And action is needed. This man needs to be locked away. He needs to get therapy. The only songs he needs to be writing is for jailhouse concerts. Okay? It needs to be no income. Anything that he makes and profits, it needs to be to a women's shelter charity, a children's charity. Okay? That's my stance on it. I'm not taking it back, period. So other information that was discussed, we talked about the Aaliyah thing. Again, we thought that was an isolated incident. It was weird, but it's like, okay, he's a creative types. They tend to be a little loopy. Sometimes I'm making a generalization, but that kind of is what it is. So we said, we shirked that off. We just said that. But it turns out it was a whole lot deeper. We heard from his surrogate mom, Miss Lena, who's the music teacher at Kenwood. We heard from her that she, even when he was in high school, before he dropped out, because he did drop out, that his lyrics were three things: inappropriate, aggressive, and hypersexual. This is what she said. She knew it was a problem. Then, when he did make it big, she was pleased that he wanted to come back and share with the students and kind of show them, hey, you can make it too, and share with them and everything. But then it just becomes weird because you're hanging out all the time. You're hanging at the high school. After school, you're pulling up. It's very known on the playground that, hey, that's R. Kelly. Oh, he's coming. He's hanging out at the neighborhood McDonald's trying to pick up girls. This is a problem, ladies and gentlemen, on so many levels. And it was so many adults that the flags went up, but nobody said anything. Oh, excuse me. I can't say what they said, but they didn't say anything to him in a way that would make him shake himself and change. Miss Lena said she did tell him that he needs to leave young girls alone. Before the charges came out, she said, hey, those girls are too young for you. But he didn't listen. He probably shook it off. Oh, Ma, I love you, whatever. Pushed on, doing his thing. It's no good. But these people, time and time again, chose to accept the friendship, accept the checks, report for work, complete their duties, all on the backs of these young girls. These young girls whose lives were traumatized, who considered killing themselves, who considered killing him, who he would starve, who he would slap repeatedly, who he would lock in tour buses, cars, and vans for hours and hours. And so it's a real outcry. And guess what? He's not the only one. He's not the only one. He just has wealth and means, and he's in the spotlight. But this stuff is happening all over our country, in our communities, in our neighborhoods, and we cannot turn a blind eye to these things anymore. So no, this is not somebody trying to just take down a black man. No, this is not black women that got together trying to do a witch hunt, so to speak. This is these girls' experience. The truth has come out, and we need to mute R. Kelly. His time is up. It's time to put him out of business, and that's my word.